Hello, welcome to chapter 3.6. Today we're going to talk about points of concurrency in triangles. The point of concurrency is an intersection point of, could be lines, could be anything, but in this chapter or section it's going to be an intersection point of three lines. Our centroid is a point of concurrency of three medians. So if you draw three medians in a triangle, where they meet is going to be called the centroid. Now our orthocenter is a point of concurrency of three altitudes. And our incenter is a point of concurrency of three angle bisectors. Now lastly, our fourth center of a circle is a point of concurrency of three perpendicular bisectors. So not only do you have to know what centroid, orthocenter, incenter, and circumcenter are, you also have to know what a median, altitude, angle bisector, and perpendicular bisector is. So there's 8 terms, I guess, on this page. Oh, and point of concurrency will give you 9 terms. All right, so we're going to start off on when you go to 3.6, number 1a tells you to make an altitude from A to BC. This is the same construction as making a perpendicular line from a point to a line. So we take out our nice compass and we put our point on our vertex A, pull this out, and we make an arc that crosses through the opposite side twice. One's over here and one's over here. Now we go to that intersection point and we make an arc, and we can come over here and then make another arc. Where those cross is where we want to draw our segment 2. My computer's having a hard time going to that point exactly, but hopefully you can draw it nicely on your paper. And this right here is considered the altitude because it starts at a vertex and it's perpendicular to the opposite side. Now number 2 is a little bit different in that if you start at A, you can't draw a line that's perpendicular to segment BC. So what we do is we draw a segment, or we draw a line that just extends this segment BC. So I'm going to first go up here, grab a compass, and now I'm going to start at A, do the same thing that I did last time, come out. That was not far enough, so I'm going to undo that. Now I need to extend it, make sure it crosses through this line twice. There it crossed through twice, so now I go to those intersection points, make an arc, go to the other intersection point, make another arc, and now we just draw a segment from A. We want to make this more solid because this is what we're doing, through that intersection, and that will give us our altitude. So this is our altitude. Now what I want you to do is I want you to construct an altitude from each of these three vertices. So there will be three altitudes, and then when you'll find a point where they all meet, and that will be called the orthocenter. So if you're doing this at home for the first time, I want you to pause the video, and when you're done, start it back up again. All right. So now if we want to do this, I need to make mine smaller so I can actually do it with this compass. I'm going to start at D, extend this out so it can hit the opposite side in two locations. I can even bring it in a little. Now, it hit once, but it went a little bit wide over here, so I can just extend this line out there. So now I have my two intersection points, one there and one there. So now I can go to my construction, put that on the point, draw an arc, put it on the other point, draw my other arc, and now as I draw this line segment, that should cross at 90 degrees. Now we're going to do the same thing from E up here. I'm going to change the color just so it doesn't get so crazy. So that one also doesn't hit both sides, so I'm going to draw a dotted line to just extend DF. So now that I bring it up there, now I'm going to put this out, this intersection point, draw an arc, go to the other intersection point, draw another arc, and then I'm going to draw from E through that intersection point, and this should be also perpendicular. Now we're going to do our final sign from F. Oh, geez. This is a little too big for my compass. What am I going to do? Let's see if I can shrink this. Should be a proportional shrink. So everything shrinks at the same rate. You will not have this problem. Hopefully your compass is large enough for this. So let's now change this to red. And it's going to strike over there, strike over here. Now I just have to extend this line segment. Now, you don't necessarily have to keep this at that big length. You just have to bring it to a point where it's more than halfway across. So if we do it there, out there, now we can draw our third segment from F to that intersection point. And you can see that this point right here is the point of concurrency. So this point here is called the orthocenter. All right, moving on to number 3. Now we're going to construct a median. So a median starts at a point and hits the midpoint of the opposite side. So first thing I need to construct is a midpoint. So I go more than halfway, draw an arc, go to point C, draw an arc. So the middle of this line that I can draw between these points looks like that. So this right there is the middle. So now I'm just going to draw a segment from A to that point. And this segment here, the dark segment, is called the median. So if I do it on an obtuse triangle, it's the same exact construction. Make your arc. Come over here. Make your other arc. You want to draw a dotted line that connects that. Where those meet is called the midpoint. And now I'm just going to draw a line from point A to that midpoint. And that will be a median. So we can say that side is congruent to that side, or this is congruent to this. Now, on number 4, we want to construct a median from each vertex. So if you're doing this at home, I want you to pause the video and see if you can do this all on your own. Hopefully you have finished with it and you just hit play to check out, see if you did it correctly. Now, just so I don't have trouble with this, I'm going to shrink this right away. Now this should be good. I'm going to, from E, I'm going to make an arc. From F, I'm going to make an arc. Those are going to cross between here and here at this point. And now we're going to draw a median from D to that point. Now in red, I'm going to go out to F. I'm going to draw an arc. Going to go to D. I'm going to draw another arc. Now I'll draw a dotted line where these two lines, where these two marks are going to intersect. And at this point, now I'm going to draw my median from E to that point. Finally, in blue, I'm going to do my last one. Rein this in a bit. Make one arc. Move it up to D. Make another one. Now where those intersect, I'm going to make my dotted line. And finally, my solid line is going to go from F to that midpoint. Now, hopefully, in your drawing, you have a point in the middle here where all of those meet, since these are medians, is called the centroid. All right, hopefully this helped you get through numbers 1 through 4. The rest will be in the next